Whoopi Goldberg explodes on Coco Gauff Live. Ridiculous remarks spark shocking clash on The View. The audience had settled in. The stage lights warmed to a golden glow, and the iconic theme music of The View played across the studio. It was supposed to be a celebratory episode. Coco Gauff, the young tennis superstar, had just come off a defining victory the week before. Producers expected an uplifting, empowering conversation. What they got instead was the most explosive episode in the show's history. The sparks didn't come from politics, celebrity drama, or some internet controversy. No, this time the fire came from a direct clash between two icons, Coco Gauff and Whoopi Goldberg. And the world watched it unfold live. The calm before the storm. When Coco walked onto the stage, the audience erupted. She wore a sleek white pantsuit, her composure radiating confidence. She flashed her signature warm smile at the crowd and waved. She had always been poised, articulate, and wise beyond her years. Whoopi smiled as well at first, but beneath that smile, something was brewing. The panel launched into small talk. Serena Williams' retirement legacy, the rise of young female athletes, the pressures of fame. Coco answered calmly, offering thoughtful responses. The audience loved her. Then came the topic that shifted the air in the room, the modern athlete and social responsibility. Whoopi leaned forward, eyes narrowing slightly. "So, Coco," she began, her voice firm but controlled, "you've spoken out a lot lately on issues off the court. But some people think, well, maybe you should focus more on playing tennis than speaking on every social issue. What do you say to that?" A murmur rippled through the audience. The other hosts shifted uncomfortably. Coco blinked, not surprised, but she answered carefully. "I think athletes have a platform, and using that voice responsibly isn't a distraction. It's part of who we are." Polite applause followed, but Whoopi wasn't satisfied. The first strike. "Yeah, but don't you think," Whoopi pressed, raising her eyebrows, "that at 21, you might not fully understand some of these issues? It feels a little, I don't know, ridiculous at times." The word hit like a hammer. The audience gasped. Sonny Hostin's eyes widened. Sarah Haynes mouthed, "Oh no." Even the producers in the control room froze, their hands hovering over the audio switch. Coco inhaled slowly. She kept her expression neutral, but her eyes sharpened. "Ridiculous," she repeated softly. Whoopi nodded, doubling down. "I'm just saying, some people might think so, and I'm giving you a chance to respond." She thought it would be a simple debate. She didn't expect Coco's answer to blow the roof off the show. Coco's unexpected response. Coco leaned forward, elbows on her knees, speaking calmly, but with fire controlled tightly beneath the surface. Whoopi with respect. Being young doesn't make someone uninformed. And speaking up for others isn't ridiculous. Staying silent would be. The crowd exploded into applause. Whoopi raised a hand, trying to regain control. "That's not what I meant." But Coco wasn't done. "You asked what I say to people who doubt me. I say this. I can win titles and speak out. I can train and still care about the world I live in. I don't have to choose between being an athlete and being a human being." A standing ovation erupted. Whoopi's jaw tightened. She didn't appreciate being challenged on her own stage. Not by a 21-year-old superstar. Not in front of millions. And that's when she exploded. Whoopi's outburst. The moment that broke the internet. "Listen," Whoopi snapped, slamming her hand on the table. "I've been in this industry longer than you've been alive. I know how this works. And I'm telling you, speaking out on everything is not always the smartest thing." The studio went silent. Coco didn't flinch, but the panelists did. Sonny Hostin gently whispered, "Whoopi." Joy Behar muttered under her breath, "Oh no, here she goes." Producers waved frantically from behind the cameras. But Whoopi kept going. "You want to talk about platform responsibility?" she barked. "Then be careful with it. You think every opinion needs to be broadcast? That's how young athletes get used and discarded." The audience sat frozen, shocked, uncomfortable, unsure whose side to take. Coco finally spoke, and her words cut through the tension like steel. The clapback that shut the room down. With grace, precision, and unshakable confidence, Coco replied, "Whoopi, using my voice doesn't make me naive. It makes me accountable. Silence isn't wisdom. And I don't let fear dictate what I stand for." The audience roared again. Coco continued, her tone rising but never losing control. "I respect your experience. I respect everything you've accomplished, but respect goes both ways. And calling my advocacy ridiculous on live television doesn't uplift the next generation. It shuts them out." Some audience members even yelled, "Go Coco!" Others clapped slowly, dramatically. Whoopi sat back, stunned. Her explosion met not with fear, but with powerful calm. For a long, heavy moment, neither said a word. Then Joy Behar, the comedic savior of many tense episodes, finally broke the silence. "Well, I think we all need a commercial." The room erupted in nervous laughter. The commercial break chaos. But behind the cameras? Chaos. Producers scrambled toward the stage. Whoopi paced furiously. Coco sat quietly, sipping water. Hostin whispered, "You handled that beautifully." Sarah looked like she had witnessed a meteor strike. Joy shook her head, muttering, "This show is going viral again." The executive producer approached Coco. "Are you okay? Do you want to continue?" Coco nodded. "I'm fine. This is what real conversations look like." Whoopi overheard, and that only added fuel to the tension. The return from commercial, the reckoning. When the show resumed, the energy felt different. The audience sensed history happening before their eyes. Whoopi cleared her throat. "I want to say something." The room froze. Coco turned slightly in her seat. Whoopi looked directly at her, not as a host, not as a gatekeeper of the stage, but as a fellow public figure wrestling with emotion. "Maybe I came at you too hard," she admitted. "Maybe I let my frustration come out wrong. So let me be clear. I respect the hell out of you. I just worry, because I've seen how the world can chew people up." Coco nodded. She understood, and she answered with unexpected grace. "I know the risks, but I'm willing to take them if it means helping others. And I appreciate you saying that." Whoopi exhaled, relieved, but still shaken. Then she cracked a small smile. "You didn't have to drag me like that, though." Epilogue. The clash that became a conversation. What happened on The View wasn't just a viral TV moment. It was a generational conversation about voice, responsibility, fear, leadership, courage, and the evolving identity of modern athletes. Coco Gauff reminded the world that youth doesn't equal ignorance. Whoopi Goldberg reminded the world that experience doesn't erase emotion. Together, they created a moment that transcended drama, a moment where honesty collided with passion, where tension transformed into dialogue, and where two powerful women stood in their truth. The clash was shocking, explosive, unpredictable, but it became something far more meaningful. A conversation the world needed. Live, raw, unfiltered, and unforgettable. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.